Okay, here's part two where we're going to finish the analysis. And the other thing you got to keep in mind is in series, the current is the same. And in parallel, voltage is the same. Okay, voltage, current. Okay, now, so we have to kind of work backwards, and that's why we've got some different colored pens here. Okay, so we know the equivalent current, so IEQ here is 1.5 amps, and the VEQ is 12 volts, and the resistance R5 or REQ is 8 ohms. Okay, so now we're going to go backwards. So I'm going to go backwards to this part of the circuit. So in R1 and R4, they should have the same current. So that means R1 or I1 is 1.5 amps and I4 is 1.5 amps. Okay, so I know I1 now is 1.5. So now I can figure out the voltage in each part. So I can use V equals IR to solve for the voltage. So V1 is 9 volts, 6 times 1.5 is 9 volts, and V4 is 1.5 times 2, so it's 3 volts. Alright, well that's kind of cool. So that means this whole thing both have 3 volts, right? So that means V2 is 3 volts and V3 is 3 volts, because in parallel you get the same voltage in both places. That means I can figure out I2 and I3. Let me go put these things in the chart though. V1 is 9 volts. V2 and V3 both have 3 volts. Okay, well now I can figure out I2 and I3 because I can do I is V divided by R, so 3 divided by 4 is 0.75 amps, and 0.75 amps because they're both the same resistor. Okay, now using my table I can go back and do a neat thing. I can figure out the power. So power, as you know, let's move this over to see the chart. Power is IV. So 9 times 1.5 is 13.5 watts. 3 times 0.75 is 2.25 watts, and this is 2.25 watts. And if I add them together, I should get the total power output, which is 18 watts, which you do. So, in general, to solve a problem like this, you redraw the circuit starting with the stuff that's farthest from the voltage source, and you keep combining elements in series or parallel until you get down to one circuit that just has one resistor. And then to do the analysis you work backwards the other way to figure out all the different stuff. Alright, that's how you do it. It's tricky but not too bad.